Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now, this that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, this actually happened probably, I don't know, was it a week ago? Time just all, in the world of true crime, there's always something going on. And I literally just have not had time to talk about this. But this is Molly Berry. I'm sure you'd rather look at her than look at me. Very attractive lady, police officer with the Lancashire Police. And what she did was she gave away information not only about the Nicola Bulley case, but she was tittle-tattling online, telling her mum about things, telling her friends about things, abusing her position as a police officer. And, you've only got to look at this picture to see. The thing is, if you join the police, now there's lots of young girls out there, she's 28 years old, lots of young girls out there that will put pictures like this out on their Instagram or whatever. This is the way of the world that we're living in, the crazy world we're living in. But she was a police officer, so she should not have done it, of course. But how was this not checked into? A police officer's social media not controlled. I mean, I had a friend that was a financial advisor. She was not allowed to have a Facebook account or a Instagram account because of she worked for a bank, because of the position she was in. She wasn't allowed to have social media. And this quite often happens with the police, isn't it? How are they allowed to have social media? They shouldn't have social media, for their own protection. I mean, this girl, beautiful as she is, and she is beautiful, but as a police officer, despite the fact of giving away compromising information about cases, for her own safety, she should not have been doing pictures like this, should she? In my personal opinion, I don't think any woman should, but this is what girls do. So, it's difficult to comment on that. Everyone's at liberty to do what they want with their own social media. When you put a picture like that out, to the world, you are inviting comments, if nothing else. It's like, as we've talked about with social media, all of us who do any social media is sort of putting things out in the public, and you have to take the good with the bad, don't you? But anyway, this is a police officer. Being a police officer is different, isn't it? So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Molly, and in particular what she did about with concern to the Nicola Bulley case. Another sensitive, thing is, all cases are sensitive. The Nicola Bulley case was more high profile than other cases, but every single case is sensitive to the families that are concerned or the people that are involved in their case. It doesn't matter if it's Nicola Bulley, doesn't matter if it's a person that nobody's ever heard of. To their families, they are the most important person. The Nicola Bulley case sort of, became more high profile than others, but it doesn't matter who it is. You do not expect police officers who are entrusted in our society, men or women, to compromise investigations or betray trust or tittle-tattle. That's not what the police are supposed to do. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, I'm going to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to put my banner on. As always, thank you to everyone who's watches, likes, subscribes. Special thank you to my members. I think this week in members, we're going to talk a little bit more about Nicola Bulley, that, you know, there's still things to talk about, but I don't like talking about it. All the time. I don't like sort of keep going on about Nicola Bulley because that's not what her family want. So the only reason I'm talking about this is because obviously it's important for the police side of things, but also because, it's important that people know what's going on. Now, a lot of you may, as I say, already know about this because, I've not been the first with this. I don't look to do videos on Nicola Bulley. It's not what I look at for now. I try to talk about cases that are in the public eye at the moment, missing people, miscarriages of justice, or things like that, things that are more relevant now. And the only reason for that, if Nicola Bulley's family was still clamouring for people to talk about it and clear things up, I would be there, but they're not. And the family are the most important, aren't they? Okay, so thank you to everyone who has sent me a super chat, who has bought a Ko-fi, or, as I say, especially my members. Don't forget members' lives every Thursday evening. So I'm going to say hello to everyone now. People that are in chat, people that are on replay crew, you lurkers there. I've been lurking quite a lot recently on quite a lot of different YouTubers. It's interesting. Lurking is interesting. And let's have a look at the people that are in the chat now and say hello to them. Oh, and I just want to warn you, my computer's acting really strange today. So I think everybody else can see what I'm putting up or what I'm doing or what I'm saying. But on my actual computer, my computer's just acting really weird. Hi, Pam. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Heather. Hope you're still improving. Oh, there you go. It's come a bit better now. Yes. So I know that a lot of police are on social media, etc. Probably under different accounts or whatever. They're not going to put on PC such and such or whatever. But they shouldn't. They should not be online gossiping about cases. Imagine if it was your case or your family's case. You wouldn't want the police talking about it. You just wouldn't want it, would you? They're supposed to be professional. Hi, Gaisler from Perth, Australia. So let's just have another look at this woman because, personally, I think this picture tells us everything we need to know about Molly. Beautiful as she is, she's loving it on the Instagram or whatever, doing what, I say, a lot of young people do. And you don't blame her for that. But at the end of the day, she's a policewoman, or she was a policewoman. She's not a policewoman anymore. So let's have a look at what happened. Let's look at the story of Molly. Now, the Lancashire Telegraph, their headline was "Glam Cop Loses Job for Sharing Police Information as Tittle-tattle." So Glam Cop. Now, I'm sort of conflicted with this because they're almost sort of against her because she's glamorous, because she's beautiful. But I don't think it is really that. At the end of the day, she's the one who put her social media pictures out showing herself like that. A glamorous police officer nicknamed Hot Cop has lost her job after she was caught harvesting confidential information about tragic mum of two, Nicola Bulley, to pass on as tittle-tattle. Now, is it just me? But I feel like, nicknaming a hot cop is a bit misogynistic, isn't it? But the thing is, she's sort of encouraged that herself by the pictures she's put out. Should the police not do better checks on people and their social media accounts? I don't think she was hidden with her social media accounts. So shouldn't the police be saying, no, she's not the right person to have in the police because she likes Instagram too much, or she likes her sort of, these posy pictures too much? Wouldn't that tell you something? She's not a serious person. Or is it that we're so desperate for police in Britain at the moment that, just anyone will do? I do think that's got a lot to do with it. I don't think many people want to be police in this climate that we're living in now. The police are so criticised. So what happens? You don't get the best people in the job, same as teachers, same as other sort of positions of importance, what I'd call importance. Teachers, police, nurses, etc. You're not getting, because they get so much hassle one way or the other. I mean, who'd want to be a nurse? You be a nurse, you work in A&E, you get attacked, you get abused. You get, nobody wants to do it. And the people that do it in the end, the people that are committed to doing it for a good reason, they're put off by it. Politicians, it's the same. You end up with people in politics. A lot of women come out of politics because they cannot stand the abuse that they get. So instead, you get people who are enjoying the attention, or who don't care about that because they're just doing it for a job, not because they want to change the world. Anyway, so this lady, she's called PC Molly Bury, and listen, I have sympathy for her. She's a young girl. She shouldn't have done what she did, but she did it, and she's suffered for it. She's got a suspended sentence. She's lost her job. Her name's been dragged through the mud on social media. So she's received her karma as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not here to sort of say horrible things about her. I feel for her. But hopefully she's learnt something. So apparently she illegally accessed the police national computer to get intimate updates about 45-year-old Nicola, who sparked a major police hunt when she went missing, so she could share them with friends and family. When one friend kept pestering her for more tidbits, Berry, who worked for Lancashire Police in Blackburn, said, "I will get in shit if they see me checking." And when pressed again, she added, "I have not checked. I cannot keep checking. I will get into trouble." So at the end of the day, this girl, she knew she was going to get into trouble, but she still carried on doing it. So then that makes it more difficult for you to feel sympathetic about her, because she knew that what she was doing was wrong. So it's not as if she was just being naive about it. She absolutely knew that what she was doing was wrong, and she still carried on doing it. So maybe it's a naivety, maybe it's a stupidity, whichever way you want to look at it. She shouldn't have done it. She knew she shouldn't have done it, but she did it anyway, didn't she? So I really do think that there's not enough attention nowadays to these there's nothing much more important than being a police officer. These people, we entrust them to whatever country you live in. You entrust the police to protect your interests, one way or another. They're the people that you ring if you have any problem. You have a problem later on today or tomorrow, first people you're going to ring, depending on the problem, obviously. But if someone commits a crime against you, you're going to ring the police. You expect someone to come out and be professional. You don't expect that they will then go and gossip about it to their family. That's not, the police are not supposed to do that, are they? Okay. So she was arrested after a shocked member of the public overheard her mother, Andrea Mercer, saying how Molly had shared information with her about an RAPE after she checked her police thing. Imagine if you'd been RAPE'd. It's hard enough, isn't it, to go to the police? How difficult is it to go to the police for most victims of SA in any way, shape, or form? And then knowing that you've done that, and then she's telling her mum about it. You know, you just can't do it. Well, certainly you could probably tell your mum about it if you thought your mum was trustworthy. But a mum's not trustworthy. She's told her mum about it. Maybe she did, in all fairness, maybe she did think, oh, her mum wouldn't take it any further, but her mum did. Because her mum likes a bit of a gossip. And that's the trouble. So she's told her mum's told someone else, someone's overheard it. And before you know it, everybody knows about this RAPE. And the poor person who was the victim of it, everyone knows her business. So investigations revealed that Berry, who was given the nickname Hot Cop by locals after she was pictured giving crime prevention tips at a children's centre, had been accessing the police logs over a 3-year period between October 2019 and March 2023 to share idle gossip for no policing purpose. Now, it's not her fault she's attractive. Probably wasn't good to be nicknamed Hot Cop, because she's an attractive policewoman. So here she is in her police shirt. You can see that she's attractive, but, it's not because she's attractive she's being attacked. It's because she was gossiping. And she's giving women a bad name. Personally, in my opinion, I don't like the name that she'll give to women, because people will jump on that and say, oh, well, there's a woman for you, or there's, she's just doing this, that, or the other. That's what I don't like. She's then creating problems for other police officers who are women, who might be attractive. What difference does it make? Attractive, not attractive. What I think we saw it with Rebecca Smith when she did that press conference. She got so much hate for the way she was dressed. But, you cannot dress in the right way, I don't think, because whichever way you dress. So because Rebecca Smith had a nice dress on, she was showing off, I don't know what people, because she didn't have a uniform on, or because she didn't have a jacket on, or whatever, I don't know, because she straightened her hair. She was criticised. But if she would have gone on there just sort of like, basically not bothering with any makeup or anything, she would have been criticised. Women get criticised whatever they do. So I suppose there's a sort of a middle ground maybe you could follow, where you sort of, I don't know, how do people expect women to dress? It's women that get the most, it's women that get the most abuse about their appearance online. There's no doubt about it. Either, dressed up like that, or not dressed up enough, or whatever. There's always a reason why women will get criticised. Anyway, she also obtained info on the death of a baby, a hit and run and crash, and a stabbing. And in one day alone, she accessed a log about a domestic violence incident and grabbed information about a pre-planned arrest of a robbery suspect. I mean, all this is unacceptable, isn't it? It's completely unacceptable. I think it might happen more often than we think, to be honest. I expect there's lots of police chat. We have seen. I expect there's loads now. Chatting amongst themselves is another thing. Like they're chatting amongst their police group in confidence, and it's staying in there. You've got to talk to somebody sometimes. What we have to also understand is that police officers are human beings. They're not superhuman beings. They're not robots. They're human beings with human failings. They do human things. But if at least, they can talk between themselves, or maybe they have somebody to talk to within the police. I mean, many, many years ago in Reading, I was in the Samaritans, and you had a support group. Because sometimes, because in the Samaritans, you're not supposed to talk about it at all. You can't go and talk to someone. You can't go and even talk to your partner about, people who ring up or whatever. It's all, confidential. But we had support groups of other Samaritans where once a month or whenever you wanted, you had like a personal person that you could talk to if you'd had a particularly upsetting call. But once a month, you'd all get together and you'd talk about things within that confidentiality. But you could not go and tell your mum, or your partner or anyone, your friend, about a call that you'd had. You could only talk to other Samaritans who were bound by the same principles of confidentiality. So is that, that's what they should, I presume they do have that in the police, I don't know. But this woman, she did not abide by that, did she? She was gossiping to her mum, who was then gossiping to someone else. And, these things, they just get out of control, don't they? Gossip always gets out of control. So when she was quizzed, she admitted she had been stupid and nosy, but insisted she was not malicious. Now, I think that's probably correct. She probably is not malicious. I don't know her. Maybe she was, but, I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt there that what she did was stupid and was nosy. At least she admitted that she had been that. And probably she was not a malicious person. Most of the information was accessed when she was on annual leave or on the sick. So, of course, Nicola was found dead in the River Wyre at St. Michael's on Wyre in February 2023, following a 3-week manhunt for her, which sparked wild speculation online. And a coroner, well, we all know what we think of this, concluded she had drowned after accidentally falling into the river whilst walking her dog. At Chester Magistrates Court, mother of one Berry from Accrington. I think Accrington, isn't that where Jay Slater comes from as well? Pleaded guilty to 32 offences of unauthorised access to police logs. She faced up to 2 years in jail under sentencing guidelines, but was sentenced to 6 months in prison, suspended for 12 months after a judge ruled she was profoundly immature and not corrupt. I mean, you'll let me know what you think in comments. Do you think Molly is corrupt, or do you agree with the judge that she's just immature? Stop it. Tia. Stop. Or do you agree with the judge that she's immature and not corrupt? I mean, personally, I agree with the judge. I don't think she's a bad person. What she did was bad. It was wrong. But I don't think she was a bad person. It's like, I know she's 28, but these days 28 is like 18, isn't it? Because young people are so, in my opinion, so emotionally immature a lot of the time. Earlier, Miss Gail McCoubrey, prosecuted, said the unnamed member of the public contacted the police in March 2023 after overhearing Berry's mother sharing information about an RAPE that had occurred in Lancashire. I mean, this is wrong, isn't it? It's just so wrong, especially something like that, so sensitive, just so wrong that people should be discussing it. Like people with, listen, everybody discusses true crime these days. What you talk about with your family, what you talk about with your friends, what we talk about online. But we're not police. We're not, You should not use your position, abuse your position for whatever. Whether it's Wayne Couzens going out and arresting Sarah Everard and ending up sort of killing her, or this, there's not much difference. There's a difference in the severity of the crime. But at the end of the day, it's still a police officer abusing their position. People in authority should not abuse their position, should they? Whatever it is. It's like, even as a teacher, I'm a teacher. You can't abuse your position. If you've got a position where people entrust themselves to you or their children to you or whatever, you should not abuse that position. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But what this girl did, and do you know what? I blame her mother as well. Because at the end of the day, if that was my child at 28 years old, which actually is more or less the age of my son, I'd be saying, oh, hang on a minute, I don't want to know about that. Don't tell me about that. Don't tell anyone else. I won't be encouraging them to give me information unless it was just literally, for me to know, but not so that I could go and gossip with other people. So the prosecutor said she was heard to say, I asked Molly, she checked her police thing, and she said it was an RAPE. She said Molly had told her about a victim a few weeks prior, and she said it was a murder. Police systems identified that Molly Berry had viewed both logs on a police-issued Samsung device while off duty. Police raided her home and recovered a mobile phone, which showed she had sent confidential information about various police incidents. So here we go, back to her Instagram. Yep, very attractive girl, very pretty girl, but she's a police officer. Why are the police not, checking on other officers' social media? Why not? These are the people that we entrust. These are the police officers, whatever country this is, Britain, but it could be anywhere, couldn't it? They're paid by the public, they're public servants. And for that reason, they should be, made sure that they're not sharing sensitive information. So in October 2019, she sent details of a stabbing incident which she had attended to a friend called Elliot, saying the lad from the stabbing survived. She later sent him further messages saying, a hit and run just came in. The woman's probably going to die. Car drove onto the pavement into this lad and girl. And then, even worse, in October 2019, she sent details of a stabbing incident which she had attended to a friend called Elliot. In a further message regarding a dead baby found in December 2019, she said, oh my God, it is a 1-year-old child. And when she was on arrest day, she sent further texts saying to Elliot, undercover police are outside your address. To which he replied, F the feds. Yeah, so I think it's clear to say that this woman should not have been a police officer, isn't it? How did she even pass? What is the criteria to be a police officer? Have you just got to turn up or what? Or are you actually investigated? Is your social media investigated? So the court heard that Berry also shared information with a woman called Amy Sanderson about a local man wanted for a stabbing, another in jail for drugs offences, and a woman who jumped off a building. And she said on January the 28th, the defendant was showing as off sick, yet she carried out a search for Nicola Bulley, and messages were sent regards that. She sent a number of text messages with regard to that missing person. On January the 29th, she was sick, but again accessed the police system and viewed deployed patrols. At 10:59 she asked, "Any update on Nikki?" And she replied, "I will get in shit if they see me checking." Terrible, really, isn't it, what she was doing? Now, we were all doing that in a way. Everybody wanted to know about Nicola Bulley, but we're not all police officers, are we? At 11:01, she accessed a Samsung device and searched again, and a further message was sent regarding Nicola Bulley. At 6:33, Miss Sanderson sent a message. Any update? Oh, sorry, I've gone back to that. Oh, yeah, sent a message. Any update? And Miss Berry replied, "I have not checked. I cannot keep checking. I will get into trouble." In terms of culpability, this conduct takes place over a number of years. There are 32 occasions. So obviously the volume of the charges is an aggravating feature. She is also a serving police officer, and she shared that information with multiple members of the public. It's difficult to assess the harm, as we do not know what the outcome was from accessing that information. She was spreading gossip or sensitive information. There was no policing purposes for this defendant to access the logs on these occasions. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, let's not look at that picture anymore, though I'm sure a lot of you would like to look at it. So she was ordered to complete 30 days of rehabilitation activity and pay £154 in costs and surcharge. Okay, I've got to go because I've got to take number one son to work. But let me know in comments, what do you think about this? Do you think her sentence was just? Or do you think she should have received prison? What do you think? Let me know what you think. Personally, I think the sentence is just. She's lost her job. She's received a suspended sentence. I do agree with the judge that what she did was not malicious. But, you know, I'm sure you'll all have your thoughts about it. But thing is, police people, they are in positions of trust, like doctors, like nurses, like teachers. They're in positions of trust. And what's the answer? I mean, do we need to, you know, is it because, you know, the police force is not interesting to people now, or so you end up with the dregs? I do think there's a bit of that. I think there's a crisis in policing, and you do sometimes end up with the wrong people, like Molly. Oh, sorry, admit, yeah, I've got to go. You're always just a little bit too late. I've got to go, but I'll be back later tonight, hopefully. And until I see you all again, I'm going to put my banner on. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to, of course. I'm not telling you what to do. And thank you to everyone. Until I see you again, may your God go with you. Bye.